Somebody is born in the Buckingham Palace and why somebody is born in Dharavi in a slum? Can you explain? Is there any reason? Enlightenment is just to switch on the light within. When I got that light, how my life has changed. I became the happiest man ever. I am free from all stress, all worry, all anxiety. I have nothing to worry about. More important than how much money you have in the bank, which is important, but more important is understanding the purpose of life.
When I was 14 years old, I took my first flight ever, and that was to Bangalore. My friend's father thought that it would be a perfect place for me and my friend to enjoy because it had one of the first shopping malls of India, the Big Kids Kemp. Little did I know that the founder, who was always thinking ahead of its time, would actually shut business to join the path of happiness. His entrepreneurial success didn't give him as much happiness as his spiritual path did. So let's meet today heir Atman In Ravi to find out what led him on this path. Welcome to Mumbai.
Be happy.
Oh, thank you. That's a great lesson.
There's only one way to be happy.
Right.
And that's to be happy now.
And it's interesting that you spell happiness also differently, right?
Yes. Because happiness is not HAPP.
Okay.
It's HAPPP. The reason,
Triple P.
Yeah, the triple P is the
Right.
first P of happiness
Yeah.
is pleasure.
Okay.
We want to eat, we want to drink, we want to dress.
Yeah.
But it's pleasure, it's ephemeral.
Right.
It comes and goes. The second P is peace. And peace is the foundation of happiness. But the third P people don't know. The third P is purpose. When you discover the purpose of life, then you reach that state of Sat Chit Anand.
Today he likes to call himself heir, but he was once Ravi Melwani, an established entrepreneur who mastered the craft of business and revolutionized retailing in India with stores such as Kids Kemp, Big Kids Kemp and Kemp's Fort in Bengaluru.
So when I shut down my business at 40, I was on the first peak of life called achievement. Success, money, name, fame. If I was walking somewhere in Bangalore, I was no less than the chief minister of the state. I was on the front page of Business Today, India Today, young business tycoon. While I was 20, I started a charitable organization. So we had 3 charitable homes and we had 800 poor people. We picked them from the street and we put them back on their feet. People who are deaf, dumb, blind, physically challenged, mentally challenged. So I was not just a businessman. On the front path, I was a businessman. On one side, I was a philanthropist. On another side, I was building a temple. I was many things in one.
The retail business didn't come to him through legacy, but in fact was built by him from the scratch.
At 16, I started an advertising agency when I was in school. And I bought my first car when I was 18 without even joining my father's business. So I had the confidence of being a successful guy. At 18, I paid for the first car I paid a down payment to buy a car of my own with my money. Then we had Kids Kemp and Big Kids Kemp. My father's shop was a rented shop. We bought a property, it became a real estate property. We bought a huge property. And I always made my business 10 times bigger. Then we opened Kemp Fort, which was like a castle. And with hundreds of cartoon characters, the world's largest toy shop. There was no one peak. It was peak after peak. But at 40, I was going to open a 200-acre from Kids Kemp to Kemp Fort to Kemp City. I paid in advance to buy a land of 200 acres to make a Disney World in India. It was at that point I got the realization. The moment I get into this project, my life will be over. I cancelled it, I stopped, I shut shop. So before that, my business was exponentially growing. It was multiplying so fast.
With an empire as big as this, one day, heir decided to give it all up.
Why do people want to succeed? Why do people want to make money, business, politics, anything? The purpose is happiness. The ultimate purpose of every human being in this world, whatever, you're doing something, you're doing because ultimately you're happy. Whether it's money, name, fame, whatever. So I was like that. We were covered by BBC, Euronews. Big Kids Kemp was the best retailer in India. Making money, I bought a 6-door limousine, the most exotic cars. But the question is all this success and achievement happiness? I started asking myself. My guru was Dada J.P. Vaswani, and Dada told me, this is pleasure, it is not happiness. So one day when I got an opportunity, I was 40. I had worked 25 years, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, passionately making success after success. One day I realized this is not life. Because what I earn, others will burn. No, why did we come to earth? What is the purpose of my birth? This is my guru's guidance, which made me think. And just one day when I got an opportunity, I got a great offer to shut down my business. I was 40. I said, close.
Have you discovered the purpose of your life?
Absolutely.
What is it?
The purpose of life is just two questions. And the two questions are, one, who am I? And two, why am I here? In the Upanishads, thousands of years ago, it is said, Neti Neti Tattvam Asi. Neti means I am not this body. Neti, not this mind. So to quickly say, this body will die. But will you die? No. One day?
Yeah, I will.
One day, right?
Yes.
No, you will never die. Kamaya will die. But you will leave and people will say you passed away. When somebody dies, what do we say? This is the body.
Yeah.
And where are they? They are gone. This is the purpose of life. To find out who is gone, where have I gone, and what must I do before I am gone. This is the purpose. And when you discover this purpose, you reach that state of Sat Chit Anand. You reach that state of eternal bliss. No fear, no worry, no stress, no anxiety. Imagine a life of complete Ananda. What more do you want? I am there.
Sounds blissful, to be honest. Just listening to you makes me feel blissful. But I do have a lot of worries at home. My house is under renovation. I have to go pick up my daughter from school and I'm here with you interviewing. How do I not worry? There are so many things happening, right?
So this is the mind. It is shooting at you 50,000 thoughts a day. When you say your house getting renovated, there's not one thought. There are 500 thoughts. ये सोफा का क्या होगा, मिरर का क्या होगा, ये लाइट का क्या होगा, स्विच कहाँ डालेंगे, ऑटोमेटिक बटन होगा. There are hundreds of things. Now everything that we are thinking is causing stress and anxiety. But ultimately, either there is the mind or there is peace. For when there is a peace of mind, there can be no peace of mind. If you want peace, there should be no mind. And if there's a mind, there is no peace.
So I would rather have peace and no mind.
How do you reach that state? Because you've got your daughter, you've got your renovation, you've got this interview, then you've got other office work and your staff and their... So we are running through life as though it's a race. We are caught in this chase, trying to be an ace. We forget to live with grace. It's the truth. It sounds like a poem, but truth of life.
I was curious to know about his name. I mean, not everyone has a unique name like Air, which is an abbreviation for Atman In Ravi.
We think we are the name, but in reality we are not. So when I meet somebody, he says, I am Robert.
Yeah.
I say, आप झूठ बोल रहे हैं. आप Robert नहीं है. आपका नाम Robert है.
हाँ.
ये आपका नाम है और ये आप है, फर्क है. You are not your name.
Right.
Just like I would ask you, when were you born? What day were you born?
20th February.
So people say 20th February and we sing happy birthday. No, it's not your birthday because you were alive before 20th February kicking in your mother's womb. You were born 9 months before. You were conceived. After that day of conception, you can't change your mother.
Yeah.
But we don't understand. Why are we celebrating the arrival day as a birthday? Our name is only our identity. Our name is not our reality. And even our birth date, which is on the birth certificate, is fake. But we still cut a cake.
Air's poetry spills out whenever he speaks, and it's no wonder he churns out a book every month.
Actually, it's not humanly possible. I get a book coming to me every month, and it just comes because I am a divine instrument. I am a receiver, just like a television. There is no Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan in the television, but it's got a receiver. It receives. I'm just that. I write a song. I've written 1400 songs. All are Jeevan Sangeet. So I sing. What we are speaking today, everything is in the form of a song. So I'm going to ask you a question. What is God to you? When you were a kid, which God did you pray to?
Yeah, it was always idol worship and I think Sai Baba.
Okay. So to somebody, God is Sai Baba. To somebody, it's Guru Nanak. When I met Karan Johar, I asked him, who's your God? He said, Mera Bhagwan to Guru Nanak hai. So each of us I prayed to Shiva from 8 to 48. And then I realized Shiva was not God. Shiva was just a form. We are taught when we are kids that this is God. I used to pray to Shiva. I stopped praying to Shiva. I pray through Shiva. So today I'm telling you, when people ask me about God, I say that power is inside you. You are God. This is what the Upanishad says, Aham Brahmasmi. The temple is called now Shivoham Shiva temple. Because Shivoham means Swayam, Aap hi Shiva hai.
Air is also to be credited to build a beautiful 65 feet tall Shiva statue 30 years ago in the middle of the garden city, Bengaluru, which is today worshipped by many.
30 years ago, I got a vision to build a statue which is over 50, 60 feet. And the vision came to me with the Ganga flowing out of the head. I had no money, I had no land, I had no architect, I had nothing. I just got a message from Shiva, build a temple. But I said, how? And as if by a miracle, in the next year, my business flourished. I got the money, we expanded, I got a land. An architect who didn't know, illiterate man came to me and said, Main kar dunga. And he built the 65-foot statue even without a drawing, even without a map, even without a measuring tape. How could it be a work of man? So see, God comes through people and does things. And the Shiva statues, it is a faith generator. Millions of people come to Bangalore to see the Shiva statue. Yes. The Lord used me as an instrument and it happened.
I wanted to know if everyone in his family also follows the same path of spirituality, and what was their reaction to Air's decision to give it all up on worldliness.
From 16, I started work. My father's business was shutting down because he had asthma, and he said, either you run the business. I was in college, I was coming first in college. I had to leave in between and join the business. But from 16 to 40, it was million after million, peak after peak, success after success. So my childhood was nothing eventful. I got married very early, in my early 20s. I have 2 boys. But as nature would bless me, I got liberated, which means everybody in my family is independent. They are all walking their own path, and I am free. I am mukt to do what I am doing.
While Air has been on a spiritual path for quite a few years, he recalls a particular moment while traveling where he suddenly felt connected to his soul and calls it the turning point of his life.
At 40, Dada Vaswani, my guru, he told me, this is not what you're meant for. Your life has a larger purpose. You're not meant just to open Kemp Fort and Kemp City. I told him I'm going to open a city which will have helicopters and helipads and a monorail running from Bangalore to that city, just like Disney World, you must have seen.
Yeah.
I was going to bring Disney to India in Indian style. He said, no, your life has a different purpose. I didn't know, I couldn't believe it. He's telling me to shut shop. I asked him, are you sure, Dada? Are you sure? So that's when my life changed. He said, go and ask Shiva. I went to the temple. He said, ask Shiva. I said, how? On the Aarti, I put 2 pieces of paper. Shut shop, don't shut shop. And I was supposed to pick one after the Aarti. I was doing the Aarti. And when the Aarti got over, only 1 piece was there. 1 paper had burnt in the Aarti.
Oh.
I didn't have to pick. And when I opened the paper, it said, shut shop. And so I shut shop. People were shocked. How can this man, leading retailer in India, I was a tycoon at that time, how could he shut shop? But no opposition from my parents, family, nothing. I just smooth sailing, I just shut. And then I started traveling the world for 5 years. I went to 100 new countries. And then Dada told me, go on a talash, go on a quest, go on a search. I bought thousands of spiritual books. Every possible scripture, theology, philosophy that is available in any library. And I scanned through thousands of books, including the Guru Granth Sahib, the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads. Then one day, 31st of August 2014, I was on a flight Air France 192 from Paris to Bangalore. 10 hours, I got that aha moment. You are not Ravi. You are the Atman In Ravi. You are the soul. And then my life was transformed. Before I was Air, I was like a worm. You know, a caterpillar is crawling, and the same caterpillar goes through a metamorphosis and becomes a beautiful butterfly. How would a butterfly like to go back and crawl like a worm, like a caterpillar? I feel like that. I was crawling through life. Of course I was happy. I'm always happy, always grateful. Even through my business, there were struggles in every business, in every successful business venture. But I enjoyed every moment of my life. But when I got awakened, spiritually enlightened, people think getting enlightened is something very mystical. No, each one of us is blessed. We have a right to be enlightened. Enlightenment is just to switch on the light within. When I got that light, how my life has changed. I became the happiest man ever. I have never experienced this kind of eternal happiness because I am free from all stress, all worry, all anxiety. I have nothing to worry about.
Little things may irritate you, right? Nothing irritates you.
Nothing irritates me. You reach a state where everything becomes a show. There is no trauma because you see life as a drama and everything is happening as per karma. So you are just enjoying the drama. In Hindi, people have this song. They say, Zindagi ka safar hai ye kaisa safar, koi samjha nahi, koi jana nahi. So when I was recently singing, I don't know which celebrity the song, I told them, Zindagi ka safar, मोक्ष का ये सफर, कौन हूँ मैं जानना ये और क्यों आया यही. So your question, I have any regret? No, because you know I have become immortal. I have realized I am not this body that will die. This fellow called Ravi will die. But air, the Atma is energy. It is birthless and deathless. It is a soul. S-O-U-L means a spark of unique life. When you realize you are a soul, you cannot have any regret. Regret is between by the body, mind and ego. The soul has no regrets.
A lot of people in our comments, might say that because you've achieved everything, because you have money, it was easier for you to give it all up and pursue this path of spirituality. But what about a person who is actually, making his ends meet?
Yeah.
He has to earn his living. He has to earn something for his family. How does he free himself from the stress of life?
Actually, there are a variety of people. Let's take Buddha. He was Prince Gautam, Siddhartha Gautama. How did he leave his palace? He left his wife, young child, small child. We've heard the story.
Yeah.
He walked out of the palace. So enlightenment is not about how rich and how poor you are. Enlightenment is the realization of the truth. The realization of who am I? No, of course, a lot of people tell me, you are the happiest man in the world. तुम्हारे पास पैसा है, तुम्हारा क्या है? पैसा बनाया, business बनाया, अभी तो you are having fun. But that's not the truth. Pleasure is not giving me happiness. Pleasure can give you happiness only this much because pleasure comes and pleasure goes. But eternal happiness forever flows. You have to reach that state. So for people who are wanting to become successful, wanting to become achievers, they need to ask themselves this question. Are we saying making money is bad? No. Are we saying achieving success is bad? No. But is money and success and achievement the only goal of life? No. You've got to learn to live with fulfillment. And fulfillment means contentment. You must learn when to say stop. What is the problem with all of us? We can't stop. When we are running, don't mind me saying, a man like Amitabh Bachchan, can he stop?
No.
He can't stop. He's even till today, he will take ads, he will do this, he will do a movie. Nothing wrong. But remember, मौत की सच्चाई क्या है? हम कभी ना मरते हैं. हम तो इस शरीर से मुक्त होते हैं जब ये तन मरता है. हम तो अमर आत्मा है. आत्मा कभी ना मरती है. एहसास जब होता है हम तन मन्ना संसार से मुक्त होते हैं. This is the goal. Do you know why you came to earth? Did you choose your parents? Did you choose your profession? Then tell me why you came to earth. So this is what we have
Never asked myself.
So we come to earth
Yeah.
because of karma. When somebody dies, does karma wait for them to finish all karma and then die, or they die abruptly?
Abruptly.
So don't you agree some karma is pending?
Yeah.
Now when some child is born blind, can you explain why a child is born blind? Why somebody is born in the Buckingham Palace and why somebody is born in Dharavi in a slum? Can you explain? Is there any reason? It's karma. This is what I'm saying people should understand. More important than how much money you have in the bank, which is important, but more important is understanding the purpose of life. So at death, two things happen. When the body dies, if we have karma, the mind and ego, me, comes back in reincarnation. But if there's a realization, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the Atma, I am the soul, then there's no reincarnation. The realization leads to liberation and unification with the divine. People sit in meditation, okay, now come on, sit straight, your spine erect, now you start meditation, you're like this and your mind is wandering all over the world. This is not meditation. I can be sitting here now with you and I can be meditating. Because meditation is to slow down MTR, the mental thought rate, to reach that state of contemplation where you are in mindfulness, in awareness, in consciousness. And this is yoga. You have to be in yoga. You have to be in union. Yoga comes from the word yuj. Yuj means union. So you can be in dhyana yoga or meditation, bhakti yoga or devotion, karma yoga or action, jnana yoga or education. And I discovered the fifth state of yoga. The fifth state of yoga I call prema yoga. Prema yoga means if I can love you, not as a beautiful, gorgeous woman, but as a Devi. If I can see a goddess in you, that is prema yoga. So I can see God in all. I can love God in all. Because each one is actually a manifestation of God. This is called prema yoga, the yoga of divine manifestation.
Even today, every once in a while, Air travels around the world all by himself as he truly enjoys his company. He believes that being inside an aircraft while flying is probably the best time to connect with yourself.
When Jesus used to get stressed with all the work, he used to sit in a boat and he used to retreat. He used to go away into the waters alone. So I do my retreat. My retreat is I just go into the mountains. I would go away to the Maldives. It's 1 hour from Bangalore. I would just go and do nothing. Just take a book, listen to some podcast or some speaker, or just be still. So I do that very often. If I have work, I'm here. But if I have no work, I'm on retreat. So the best thing, my favorite travel aspect is not to just watch a movie on the flight. Though these days flights have Wi-Fi, I try not to get onto Wi-Fi in the plane. The plane is the best time to be in consciousness.
Yeah.
So when you travel, we must spend time just doing nothing, looking at the clouds, imagining, looking through the window of the plane and imagining this the creation. How beautiful these clouds are. Look at the sun out there. Look at the sky. Look down. Look at the acres, the hectares of lands below and imagine the creator. So I think the best way to use travel time is to meditate in the flight. And meditation does not mean sitting and putting some mantra in your head. No, just be still.
We also see you only wearing white clothes. Is there a reason why?
My guru was with me for 25 years. He asked me only one thing, wear white. I said, why? He said, you wear white. But today I realize white is a color of peace. White is a color, the divine color, which splits through the droplets of water and creates the 7 colors of the rainbow. You see, it all comes from white light.
What about people who are actually going through severe depression or mental health issues, which has become a norm these days, be it a young or an old person?
Actually, people don't understand the meaning of depression. Depression, as the word tells you, is depression. But depression is caused by aggression. Depression is caused by aggression of the mind. I mentioned to you the mind is MK50. My uncle, around 80. Very happy, the jolliest man in the world. He woke up one morning because the doctor had told him your heart is a little weak. You should be a little careful. His wife went to make a cup of tea. She went to make a cup of tea and she came back. He's not there. He jumped off the 6th floor and committed suicide. Now depression is causing things like suicide, but the cause of the depression is that 1 second. That jumping off is not easy. Can you and me jump off a 6th floor? But the mind, it makes us blind. We don't understand the mind is like a monkey. Often we say it's a monkey mind. It's jumping. Thought. But look at the word monkey. It has got M-O-N-K-E-Y. Cut the tail, the E-Y. What's left is monk. If you want to eliminate depression, live like a monk. And how do you live like a monk? Cut the E-Y. What is this E-Y? The mind is ever yelling, ever yearning. E-Y has a meaning. The monkey. Ye chahiye, wo chahiye, ye chahiye, wo chahiye, ye chahiye, wo chahiye. And yang. So much noise. If only people can learn, my mind is a monkey, I must cut the tail, I must live like a monk, I must not let mind, M-I-N-D, misery, ignorance, negativity and desires mind. The mind is causing depression. If you go to a psychiatrist, they will give you tranquilizers. They will give you sugar pills. It doesn't no use at all. You need to go within. You need to reach that state which is called a state of consciousness. Just still the mind. Make the monkey into a monk. It works.
You're on a spiritual path, you mentioned, but what do you do for a living? We all need money for sustenance, right? Just giving it all up.
So what, I'm lucky,
Yeah.
or maybe I don't know, the grace of the divine, or karma as I call it.
Yeah.
See, I don't believe in the word luck as
Yeah.
L-U-C-K. I
Yeah.
believe it's pluck. So what we plant, we pluck.
Correct.
So how my karma is good, I worked for 25 years.
Yeah.
I had 2 retail businesses. I shut them down.
Right.
They are giving me rentals. And so I am having enough, I'm not greedy.
Yeah.
Either we can live by need or we can live by greed. If you want greed, you can nothing will be enough. But I live by need. I am happy. I live a life of contentment and I have enough.
You've lived a corporate life for good 25 years and last few years a spiritual life. Which life has given you more contentment and satisfaction and happiness and, you know, the peaks of joy?
No, see, a corporate life, a life of success and achievement can only give you pleasure. It cannot give you peace. No corporate man in this world can say they have peace. They are worried about the tax officer, about ED, about customers, about... I am not worried about anything.
Yeah.
I am not even worried about death. People are worried about death.
Yeah.
No, but when you are enlightened, then you don't have to worry about anything. We all have to learn. We go to school and college. We learn, then we earn. But what most of us do, we learn, we earn, we burn, and we return. No, you learn, you earn, then you turn, and you yearn.
Ooh. That's a great message to end this conversation
I want to
with.
give you a little book.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is a special book for you.
Thank you so much.
It opens from this side.
Written by you.
Yeah. My current book is my journey of spiritual awakening, how I got the spiritual awakening. And we have a beautiful book which is doing very well now. It's called How to Overcome Fear, Worry, Stress, Anxiety and Depression.
How can one get in touch with you?
I'm on all social media, my credentials are there.
Right.
But best way to contact me is to come on Zoom.
Okay.
8 o'clock every day, the Zoom number is available, it's free of cost.
Right.
Anybody can come on Zoom and contact me. And my WhatsApp number is not a private number, so anybody in the world can, it's 98451 55555. Anybody can WhatsApp me, I reply everybody personally.
Wow, and if they have any problems, they reach out to you.
I can talk to them, I can solve their problems, I'm here for that, that's my job.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's pleasure
I'm definitely
pleasure
gonna
meeting
read
you.
this.